Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC Middleweight Champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Believe You Me podcast. We apologize for no show being up Monday, okay? And everyone's like, oh, Bisping, you a dickhead, you know, off filming movies and letting us down. Well, we tried to do it on Monday, but Anthony Smith had Wi-Fi issues, but that's okay because that's how it goes. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's you, sometimes it's life.
Well, it's mostly you. It's mostly you.
Whoa.
But I'll take the blame. I'll take the blame for this one. I'll take the blame for this one.
Well, you have to take the blame for that one. You were freezing up, you know.
I know I was.
Yeah, it was a little
in the middle of the conversation.
Yeah,
we're good
for
now.
a while,
We're good now.
and then we were just like, bollocks to it. We'll try it again on Thursday. So, apologies, everybody. But I am on the other side of the world, working 13-hour days. And what is it? It's almost 10 o'clock at night here. And here we are doing the show, but I love it. Anthony, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a rather big cut on your forehead.
Yeah, about that. So, so my oldest daughter's hunting with me this year. So I take her out to the farm. Remember, I sent you guys the videos from with the cows. I was talking shit to the cows. I don't know if you watched the videos in the group text, but and so we're out there shooting guns, and I'm trying to teach her like how to shoot this larger caliber gun without hurting herself. And as I'm talking to her, showing her what not to do, I'm like, and then you just slowly pull the trigger. And so I go to take a shot, and it's got this big scope on it. And I just was so focused on trying to talk to her about it that when I fired the gun, I just scoped myself right in the fucking face.
What, like the kickback?
Yeah, like the recoil. I just didn't have it tight in my shoulder, and I do it all the time. It's the most amateur goddamn shooting thing in the world, but some guys they don't have enough distance between the scope and their eye. Yeah. And it happens to me all the time. I think my vision's bad, so I just lean in and get so much closer to it. And I'm on all these blood thinners. This thing has been bleeding on and off since Tuesday. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I know jack shit about guns, so I can't sit here and criticize. But you are Mr. Gunman. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
this sounds like a rookie mistake. Yeah. And you said you got bad eyes. Is that not what the scope is for?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's for. It's a rookie mistake for sure. But to be fair, I make it a lot. Like I've shot deer before, and as soon as I take the shot, I'm sitting in this deer blind, just bleeding out of my face, going, God fucking damn it! I did it again. I don't know. I'm a fucking idiot.
I'd be you on a hunting trip or just like a gun tutorial?
We're just like at the range, just sighting them in and practicing.
They got some good shooting ranges out here in Bulgaria, apparently. So I'm going to go swing by them, have a little bit of fun, check it out. Talking of children, this morning I'm in bed. This was not funny, but I'm in bed and I text my wife. I've been starting at 5:45. I get picked up and I get in about 7:30 p.m. every night. I text her this morning, just on my way off, have a great day, whatever. And she calls straight away. And when it's the super early morning phone call out of the blue, you're like, oh, this isn't good. What's this going to be? Which direction is this phone call headed in? What have I done now? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I pick up the phone and she's like, oh, Callum got in a massive car crash. I'm like, whoa, shit.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you don't need coffee when you hear that, but he's fine. Thank God. He's up at college in San Francisco, driving along, gets to a 4-way stop sign. He had right of way. He went through. There was a yield sign for the cross, the road that crosses it. He's driving along and some car, just fucking T-bones him. Cars roll off, smashed to bits, but they're both fine. That's all that matters. Man. That's all that matters.
I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, we were terrified. And he was kind of like, he kept apologizing, because of the car and stuff. I'm like, son, stop apologizing. Who cares? I said, this could be a very different phone call right now. I could be on a plane to go see my dead son, or you could be in a coma, or you could be on God knows what, geez. So, yeah.
I'm glad he's okay, man. That's awful. Oh,
No.
what time was that? Like in San Francisco?
I don't know. So hold on. No, it would have been 7:35. 7:35
okay.
at night. Yeah, yeah.
So was she waiting for you to wake up?
Probably, yeah. But just goes to show, doesn't it? You got to be careful behind the wheel, guys. This is a public service announcement brought to you by the Believe in Me podcast. All jokes aside, though, it is true. Do you know what I mean? Every time you get behind the wheel of a car, you never know. Every time you put a gun in front of your eyeball, you never know. This could be the time you really make a dick out of yourself in front of your daughter.
Yeah, I did. I made a fucking complete ass of myself too. And she was like, "Are you bleeding?" I was like, "No. I just no." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fucking bleeding, you idiot."
Oh shit. Well, anyway, you're okay. Callum's okay. We're okay, and the podcast is underway. Harrington, father to be, of course. How are you, sir? Brian, how are you as well?
I'm doing excellent, Mike. Thank you for asking.
Well, of course, you need to elaborate.
That didn't seem genuine.
No, and I said when we first started the show, I'm like, Harrington, are you okay? You seem a little stressed. He's like, I'm too blessed to be stressed. And whilst,
That's exactly what he said.
well, that is a beautiful answer. It is. Are you sure? Is this a lie? Are you pulling the wool over our eyes?
No, man. I'm well, I was talking to Anthony a little bit about it before the show started, but I do have a boxing match coming up in 2 weeks, so I'm just, I'm just hyper focused. I got a killer in me, and I'm trying to bring it out.
He's in fight camp.
No, Mike. Booger Beard's like fucking way bigger than you, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, just checking.
Yeah, that's fine.
And he cuts a mean promo.
What's going on here?
Oh yeah. From his tweets, he sucks a mean dick as well.
How come you didn't offer to suck mine? I was offended. I was like, "Oh, you're only sucking Bisping's dick? That's fucking bullshit."
Yeah. That's what he says all the time. He's always offering oral sex on.
Not to me. Apparently, he doesn't like me.
Well, he doesn't like bald guys. What can I tell you? That's why he's not going to suck Harrington's either.
Just the new guy. Just kidding.
Talking of that slightly, I was just telling you a moment ago, we're slightly late to start tonight because my back's been killing me. I'm here on set and geez Louise, bad back. I've never had a bad back before. Obviously, my body's shot, but the back pain for the last few weeks is crazy. And I know it's just because I'm tight everywhere. My hip flexors, everything, it's all connected. And everyone on set keeps talking about this Bulgarian chiropractor, masseuse guy that works with the Bulgarian wrestling team. I thought, he sounds like the guy I need because I've been going to like the spa here at the hotel and they just fucking rub it nice and light. You fall asleep. Anyway, so he comes in and it was a very, he was great. Let's just start with that. It was awesome. It was a very unusual experience. He comes in, little short, really stocky, typically looking Bulgarian guy, rubbing my legs, rubbing my toes and my feet and then going up the legs, just like sliding past the balls with his fingers, and I'm like, okay, I'm being very childish. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm like, if you can just not like, just trim the balls with your fingers, that'd be appreciated. But yeah, get into the hip flexors. But it was a very, very good, unusual massage. He was standing on me at one point. At one point, I was face down on the carpet, and like he had his knees on my ass, his elbows in my back, and just like rocking forwards and backwards. If like the receptionist, like the room service or the cleaning ladies or something had walked in, they would have been like, "What the fuck is going on in there?" But I tell you what,
it's probably Booger Beard this whole time.
The Bulgarian Booger Beard. Oh shit. All right, Harrington. I haven't looked at the notes. I've just been getting sexually abused off a very, very good masseuse joke. If he, in the off chance that he watches this, he was awesome, and they are jokes, of course. But Harrington, I haven't looked at the notes, and I really mean that this time. So pick the best non-MMA story before we get into the world of mixed martial arts. What have you got for us?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest story, at least like what was, trending on Twitter and was like it was just everywhere yesterday. Rapper from the 90s, singer of the Kenan and Kel theme song, Gangster's Paradise himself, Coolio, passed away yesterday at 59 years old after being found unresponsive in a friend's bathroom. Police on the scene initially are reporting it could be cardiac arrest, but the coroner has not given his official diagnosis.
Yeah, I saw that this morning when I checked my phone. You do the morning social media scroll as you're having your coffee. And I was like, oh, shit. I can't pretend I was a big 90s rap fan, of course. Mm-hmm. I think most people are. I think that's the best genre. Gangster's Paradise, what a tune that was. Other than that, I don't know Coolio too well, but what a shame. Really, really sad. Condolences, obviously, to him and his family. Are you a Coolio guy?
A little bit. I wasn't like a real deep dive. The songs that I did listen to, I really enjoyed Gangster's Paradise. The Kenan and Kel one definitely stands out just because
I don't know it.
It's kind of my age group, of the old school Nickelodeon days. But I think it always sucks when someone it's just a reminder that that we're getting older, that like the people that when we were younger, we'd listen to their music and it seems like it was so long ago. I don't know. You kind of reminisce when you're driving or you hear Gangster's Paradise as a walkout song a lot. It's just kind of like, fuck all these, I don't know, all these rappers of DMX and Coolio and, it sucks.
Yeah, it really does. And, I had the exact same thought as you. People seem to be dying more. Of course, it's a natural part of life. That's what happens. But it shows that, well, I'm older than you, but we are getting older because people that we know, people that we looked up to, actors, rappers, musicians, whatever, just general celebrities or people in sports, actors, boxers, athletes, whatever. People are starting to die, It's fucking sad. But rest in peace, man. Very, very sad. Gangster's Paradise, one of those songs, whenever you hear it, you got to sing along to it. You know what I mean?
You have to. You have to.
Can you give me a little rendition, Anthony Smith?
I'm not good at like singing songs when I don't when I can't hear it. What?
That surprises me. Yeah, no,
I know.
Not at all. Not at all. Anyway, there it is. There's a homage to Coolio. All right, real quick, let's talk about BetterHelp. BetterHelp offers professional counseling done securely online. So if you feel like there's something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals, definitely check out BetterHelp. Look, listen, sounds like a crisis line. Sounds like self-help. It's not. It's professional, affordable counseling done online. Financial aid is also available, and it's easy to get started. All you got to do is go to betterhelp.com/believe, and then you will be matched up with your own licensed professional therapist who you can communicate with in just under 48 hours. Look, listen, we talk about BetterHelp a lot on this show, and they offer a fantastic service. If you're going through something, who was it? I just saw... I'm not going to say his name, actually. He's a famous guy. His brother just committed suicide. And he was, again, the same thing. Men struggle to talk about their issues and their problems because we put up this brave front and this false bravado. And we don't want to talk about it, but we do. We go through a lot of issues. We get down. And often it's the people that seem the brightest and most vibrant that are suffering the most. If you have any kind of issue, it doesn't matter what it is, talking to somebody is going to help. BetterHelp is not a crisis line. It is not self-help. As I said, it's a professional outfit. You can do it via FaceTime, do it on the phone. You don't have to drive there. It's cheaper than regular, usual therapy and counseling. So give this a shot. If you feel like there is something there and you've wanted to talk to somebody for a while, this is almost a great anonymous way of doing it. You ever got to walk into a place and think, shit, is someone I know going to see me there? Because it's not going to happen. You're doing it all over your phone. So there's no barrier. There's no challenge to doing this. You just got to go to betterhelp.com/believe. That's betterhelp.com/believe. You're going to get 10% off your first month with that link. So one more time, betterhelp.com/believe. And whatever it is you're going through, good luck on your journey. Harrington, what else have you got? I was under fire today from a certain little leprechaun. Do you want to tee that one up?
I was going to say, speaking of boxers and actors and all this other stuff, Conor McGregor had some words, upon making his acting debut in Roadhouse, had some words for other fighters who are going down the same path. The quote is, all these little twerps want to be actors now, little twerps. There's only one Mac Daddy, bad to the bone with a good heart, action with Jake Jill, or rom-com with Sarah Jessica. Bisping, remember that show you were in? Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. And I was just befuddled. Do you know what I mean? When I saw that, I'm like, well, where's this come from? Do you know what I mean? What's all that about? Do you know what I mean? I mean, God bless him. I'm actually on set in Bulgaria, and we stopped for a little break, looked at my phone as you do, and someone had shot me that on DM. And I was, as I say, I wasn't annoyed or anything, just scratching my head going, where's that come from out of the blue? I mean, God bless him. He's doing his first acting thing, and it's a big deal.
Don't give me that shit that God bless him.
No, I mean, God bless him. He's doing his first acting role, and he's all pumped about it.
Yeah,
he's all excited for it.
Why send stray bullets? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? What does that have to? he gets in a dust up with Nate Diaz, who hit him with a zinger when he hit him with that. The only one acting here is you're acting like you can still fight. I thought that was a good one. Connor's hit me
good one.
I've caught a couple strays from Conor too. And
really?
It always pisses me off. It at least when I did it though, it was like I was in the middle of talking about something, or I was on the desk. I think one time in Bilal misspoke and said Conor did something he didn't do or didn't do. Like he misspoke accidentally. You know how it is on the desk. Sometimes you get rolling and you just you get a fact wrong and you don't mean to. It's right in your head, but it doesn't come out right or whatever. So like, he posted that video of me and Bilal on the desk and was laughing at us like, get these fucking guys off my TV or whatever. So I've caught a couple strays, but they weren't as random as that. At least I had something to do there. I just thought like, what a dickhead. Like just kind of drug you into a mess over a dust up he got in with Nate Diaz.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, exactly.
And haven't you been acting as long as he was in the UFC?
Longer. I was my first. I'm not that I don't consider myself an actor, but I do, do some acting on the side type thing, and I do enjoy it, and I'd like to do more. But 2009 was my first role. Granted, I'm not exactly fucking booking roles every weekend or anything. So as I said, I don't consider myself an actor first. I don't, and because I'm not. I'm not. But it is a fun little thing to go down. But as I said,
neither is he.
Well, is he fuck? I mean, I remember my first beer. Do you know what I mean? He's all excited. He's had his first beer and he's doing a big show with Jake Gyllenhaal. God bless him. That's what I mean. Good for fucking you. Well done. Why have you got to throw shit my way? I don't get it, right?
Mike, it's not his first acting gig. He's been acting like a dickhead for the past 10 years.
Oh, Brian with the class one lines. Well, I don't disagree with that. Hey. Just fucking make sure you got your bodyguards around you next time you come and want to talk some shit, you little fuck. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I thought that's funny you say that because I thought when I seen that, like he wouldn't, if he didn't have all of his bodyguards and you and him ran into each other just somewhere out and he didn't have 10 friends or 5 bodyguards or whatever, he wouldn't dare say something like that to you. And that's the craziest thing to me. Like, why be an asshole when no one can do anything about it because you got to you pay $500,000 a year in security. You know what I mean? Like, of course you can just run off at the mouth like that.
Do you know what? I'd like to agree with you there, but he's so fucking deluded. He probably does fancy himself. Do you know what I mean? Which would be a mistake. We'll just leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, no, it did make me scratch my head a little bit. I mean, this is what I always say about Conor, and we don't want to sit here talking about Conor. We've got lots to talk about today. And when I get back, we're going to be getting regular guests on like we used to do all the goddamn time. But he's got a lot going on in his life. He's a very famous, very wealthy man. I don't even follow Conor on social media. I don't interact with him or anything like that. And he's just going to come out the blue and do stuff like that. I don't get it. I don't get, not just Conor, people that are in a very advantageous position in life and just feel the need to try and berate others' achievements. Have you not got enough going on in your life that you feel the need to go around putting other people down? Why not just be happy? Why not be happy that you're doing a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal for your first ever a job, which is fucking awesome. Let's be honest. I was a big fan of Roadhouse. It's cool as fuck. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. It's not a competition. I'm living my life. You're living yours. We're not competing against one another, but I don't understand like anyone, not just Conor, anyone that's just still spiteful. We're all trying to get ahead in life. He's done that. He's smashed it out the park. What is with the animosity? How about have a smile on your face?
I think he's isolated. I think he's isolated. I really do. Like he's super successful and he's got everything he could ever ask for, except for what we have, I guess, like a community. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of isolated because of what he's done, how successful he is, how wealthy he is, how he lives a different life than the rest of us. So I've said this before and he flipped out. Like he's just not one of us anymore. And I think that bothers him. I really do. I think that bothers him.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Because
it's not our fault. That's his fault. You know what I mean?
It's certainly not my fault. It's got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, like, sorry, I'm not rich enough to be part of your community, bro.
Well, it's not that. And I'm not talking about Conor now either. I think a lot of people, the level of fame that he reached is astronomical. Do you know what I mean? And it's very, very rare. And you're talking about, big time A-listers. There's a lot of people at that level, but to achieve it is fucking very rare. And I do find, and I know a few people like that. They do get lonely because, they can't go anywhere. They can't trust people, So I don't know if that's the case with him or whatever, but as you say, he doesn't have a community. I mean, he's still got tons of fans. You can't deny that. There's still a lot of people, rightly or wrongly.
I think community and fans are different, though.
Yeah.
Like for them, I can't imagine how much he gets bothered, and not him just specifically, but people at his level. Because even you and I, when we're going places, we get stopped a bunch. I can't imagine if you're 100 times more recognizable and famous than either one of us. And so I get it but don't fire back at the community you had, like that. I don't know.
What got you there in the first place? Not that I'm anything to do with what got him there in the first place, but
whatever.
The part of that MMA community, but he doesn't like me, and that's quite all right because I still fucking sleep well at night. So go fuck yourself, you little shit. You know what I mean? Who am I kidding? Go fuck yourself.
Exactly. There it is. There it is.
Trying to play it all PC and nice, No.
Anyway, I'll drag it out of you.
I know you're a son of a bitch. There's going to be all kinds of stupid stories.
For sure. This one's getting quoted for sure.
Joking, very, very light-hearted. Come see me, bro. What is this I see you put in the notes, Harrington? And I haven't seen this at all. I don't know what it is. Something to do with Joe Rogan. All I've seen is the number and the headline. I'm looking at it right now. Joe Rogan says that Brendan Schaub needs a team of handlers. So this is MMA-based, non-MMA, MMA / it's in the middle, tittle-tattle gossip. But what's Joe been saying?
So essentially, Brendan Schaub came out last month, after the UFC 279 switch up. He claimed that there was some kind of conspiracy theory where the pay-per-view wasn't trending very well. So they switched up the main event and had Khamzat miss weight and all this other stuff. Joe Rogan was like, A, there's no basis to that. B, you need to shut up sometimes. Like, you need to have a handler with you to tell you what is and isn't okay, because Schaub's response, right, was to just go at Dana White, when he got called out for the nonsense. So Rogan, while he did, bring Schaub into this community, says that, he does kind of need a muzzle on him every now and then. Yeah.
Well, look, listen, Brendan's not a bad guy at all, far from it, but he does miss the mark sometimes, as do I. We're all only human. He does a lot of content. But yeah, that whole conspiracy thing with the pay-per-view is just mind-blowingly dumb, let's be honest. So then I did see, because it started, Dana said it was, who was it? I forget who it was. He got the name wrong. He thought it was somebody, I forget, a boxing promoter or I forget who it was. Was it an actor or something? And anyway, he said, and then at the end, someone in the press goes, no, it was Brendan Schaub. And then Danish went, oh, yeah, that explains a lot. And I don't know, maybe you can bring it up.
I think he said it was like Pat Miletich or it was like another coach.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was Pat Miletich. Brendan, just bring up the response, because Brendan he went to town on Dana. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, where is it? I'll talk about an overreaction. Number one, you are coming up with absolute nonsense, bullshit conspiracies. I mean, that is crazy. I think we talked about it, so we won't talk about it too much. But, to think that everyone involved, the corners, the fighters, the coaches, the staff, the execs, that this was all an elaborate hoax. I mean, that is just, fucking cuckoo crazy.
I have the quote if you want it.
Go on.
Oh, God, here we go again. I have been nothing but cool and thought you learned from the last time you mentioned my name and got destroyed. Unfortunately, not surprised you're a bully. Always have been. You put a pair of designer jeans and some hip sneakers and think you're cool. You're still a dork with a frat bro vocabulary. Calling me and numerous people dummy, dumbass, fucking idiot because we have questions about the chaos at UFC 279. Also, no one is talking about gate tickets. I was referring to pay-per-view buys and how UFC 279 was trending, which you don't release to the public, but we'll say it went fucking great, boys. Sorry, we just don't buy what you're telling us, lying numerous times to the sheep media you pick to attend events and don't have the balls to call you out. Just in the recent press conference, you were caught lying about extra compensation of fighters. You need a reality check. You're surrounded by yes men. You're not special. You're not original. You're a low-budget Vince McMahon. Every move you make is a copycat of that dude. Only thing you have in common is you're both on steroids and dress like assholes. Need I remind you, your origin story is a failed cardio kickboxing instructor who had 2 rich friends in high school to fund his business. Now go make a cool video with the Nelk Boys to stay relevant, or have your PR team come up with a good press story to distract the fans away from the fighter pay and how they have to wear these awful Under Armour rock shoes and won't see a dime. Dummy. P.S. Quit stealing my shows on Thick Boy Network and recreating them on Fight Pass, okay? Also, leave Pat Miletich alone.
Oh my God! Listen,
Holy shit!
I mean, what is all that about? I mean, does he really think that him and Dana have some fucking rivalry? I'm sure Dana doesn't think of him at all. I'm sure it doesn't enter his mind unless someone brings him up at a press conference or whatnot. And stop stealing my shows off the Thick Boy Network. Come on.
I like Shab a lot.
Yeah.
I think his content
right.
is pretty good. I think he does a good job with the shows that he has.
Yep.
I like the Food Truck Diaries. I think that's a cool concept.
Have you been on there?
No, I was supposed to after my last fight, but I went right into surgery, so we had to reschedule it. But yeah, I want to do it. I'm looking forward to it when we get to reschedule it. But every once in a while, he does miss the mark, and I think sometimes Brendan Schaub is blinded by his hate for Dana White, and I think sometimes it does skew how he views some things because he's looking for something with Dana all the time. I think you look hard enough, you can imagine anything, and I think sometimes that happens to Schaub. And I mean, just in that response, it's like, bro, chill out. Even if, and some of it doesn't make any sense. Like, even if he is copycatting Vince McMahon, like, you can copycat and recreate $1 billion business. Like, why wouldn't you?
Well, exactly.
Dana does have some hip sneakers. He's always
some very cool sneakers. Dana's always just the same, pretty much as long as I've known him. I mean, granted, I think we all fell foul, probably a little bit pre-Anthony Smith time, but I think we all fell foul to wearing some bad affliction shirts back in the day. But Dana's always just like, you know, a fucking black t-shirt, pair of jeans, whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I think Joe Rogan summed it up perfectly. What did he say? He needs a handler. He just needs to shut the fuck up sometimes. So,
yeah, sometimes he's got to let it go. Maybe his fix could be just, if you have something that's a little wild you want to say about Dana, like, just sit on it for a day. And then if you still feel the same about it the next day, then you know what? Go ahead and make the video. But I think sometimes he just reacts so quickly.
Yeah, well, you know, whatever.
Is Schaub mad at Dana because of the fight bookings that he was put in?
No, I
couldn't tell you why.
No. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, and bring it up. Oh, it was a failed kickboxing instructor or kickboxing. The man fucking bought the UFC and turned it into an absolute worldwide phenomenon and the most valuable sports franchise on the planet. He's doing all right.
Yeah.
Dana doesn't need us to fucking defend him.
I'm sure Dana's glad that the boxing instructor thing didn't work out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, shit.
Like,
anyway.
yes, thank you. I am. Thank you.
Yeah. I saw this story. It's number 9. Aspen Ladd got cut by the promotion following her last weight miss. And obviously this involves Dana. I think it was one of the post-fight presses. And I saw this recently. And he basically just said, listen, Aspen Ladd's a great girl. We like her. She's a good fighter. She's I forget what he said, the exact word, sweet girl or something like that. Talented. And she is. She's very talented, and she is. My interactions have been very positive. She's a great girl, but you got to make weight. I don't know how many times it is now that she lost, and not that I'm happy to see Aspen Ladd have these unfortunate circumstances dropped upon her, because nobody wants to see anybody lose their job. But the reality is you have got to be professional, and there has to be consequences when it's time after time after time. And, hopefully she can go away, win a couple of fights, prove you can make weight and come back to the UFC. That would be fantastic. But I hope this is a little message to a lot of fighters on the roster. You know what I mean? To take it more serious, because the weight misses are getting more and more frequent. And without sounding like a misogynistic, sexist pig, I think predominantly, I don't know, I want to say 60-40, maybe even higher, come from the females. So, and again, I know they have body issues once a month and whatnot that causes them to retain water. So I'm sympathetic, but I hope that does send a clear message. I don't know how many times it was that she missed, but I know it was a few. Did you ever miss weight?
Yeah, I did once in 2011. I missed weight in like 2011 in Strikeforce. I took a short notice. I was real heavy. You know, I just had a tough time. But man, I've always, just like you, I've had a lot of good interactions with Aspen and her family. You know, her stepmom and her dad, and she's got a good support system. I do wonder about that because I don't know if we talked about it on here, but you remember that whole issue she had with, or I guess the kind of media storm over the corner advice from her coach / boyfriend or whatever. I kind of roasted that guy a little bit. I just wonder if there's some personal issues that are going on because she's I don't know how to say this without sounding like a dickhead. She's got the weight to lose. You know what I mean? It's she's not super sucked up. She's, I mean, and I don't mean that in a negative way. We look at guys all the time and say, I don't know why that guy missed weight. He looks a little soft. You know, he can, you know, it's there to lose. So I'm hoping that it's just some personal, she's young. She's really young. So I hope it's just some personal issues that she's got to get cleared up and just get it back on track. She's too good to not go out on the regional scene, get it under control, win some fights. There's no way the UFC won't bring her back because she's one of the best in the world at that weight class. So I think it's better to do it on the regional scene though, when there's maybe not as many eyes and you got a billion people watching you, expecting you to miss, and the pressure. And there's not too many girls on the regional scene that are going to beat her. So she can just do her thing, get as good as she can in the gym, focus on her weight, get that under control, deal with whatever issues she's having, go in and fight, and she'll be back. I'm positive. As long as if she can prove she can make the weight consistently, I think she'll be back pretty quick.
I totally agree. And in some ways it'll probably be a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? Because it does send a strong message. And then it sends the message that you're going to make some changes in your life, in your preparation, perhaps in your diet, in your discipline year round, maybe between fights. Talking of that, I saw Paddy the Baddy's got some new t-shirts on sale. They were fucking hilarious. I forget what it is. It's like a cycle. It has Paddy super skinny, Paddy making weight, Paddy eating at the post-fight press conference at the top, and then down here it's Paddy all fat as fucking pizza. And then it just like it's the cycle that goes round. Yeah, I'd rather be fat and happy than skinny and miserable or something like that. But anyway, side note there. But yeah,
I have to get one of those shirts.
All the best to I forgot her name. What's her name?
Aspen
Ladd. My God, sorry about that. I want to see this video. Number 10, Alex Pereira showing a funky training. I was scrolling YouTube and I didn't have a good signal. I saw a video about it, but I didn't watch it. He said that he's kind of mocking Izzy for the fight coming up in November. Brian, do we have the tape? Oh, he's on one of them.
Hoverboard. You know how hard that would be to do?
I was just going to say that's impressive.
Look how big he is.
For the audio-only listeners, he's on one of those hoverboards and he's bobbing and weaving, ducking and diving, throwing punches, actually sparring properly, utilizing head movement, everything on a fucking hoverboard. Can you rock a hoverboard, Anthony?
No, not well. My kids are little savages on them, though. They're like little race car drivers zooming around. You know what pisses me off? My wife lets my kids roll around these hoverboards in the house. And it pisses me off. I don't know why. I think I'm just maybe I'm just the angry old dad.
Hardwood floors?
Do I?
You got hardwood floors?
Yeah, we got wood floors, we got carpet, we got
like a problem then, Anthony.
It's a huge problem. That's what I'm saying. And they're all it's brand new carpet, they're brand new floors. My wife is like, oh, they're having fun. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, there's just a whole herd of gang members on hoverboards in my house.
Hold on. How many are we talking here? This sounds, I mean, one's bad enough because Lucas, when they first
the three older ones.
Oh my God.
They'll race each other all around the house. The 5-year-old even is on this hoverboard. She's the best one.
Because going through doors, they catch the sides in the kitchen and they chip little bits of paint off. Do you know what I mean? And we're sounding like miserable old men now.
I'm mad about it right now.
Yeah, but it's annoying because under that shit chips off. Do you know what I mean? It starts to look very, very bad. Anyway, back to Izzy. I'd say I'm excited for that fight. So that's UFC 281, Madison Square Garden. We just had Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler added to that. What do you think? Obviously, Pereira is super aggressive. Has I would say, with respect, probably the power advantage. I think that's clear. I think we all know that. Obviously has the 2 victories. But Izzy has been fighting championship fights 5 round after 5 round for so long now. He's got to have an experience advantage. I think he's probably got better being at that high level for so long. It's a very, very intriguing fight. And then on top of that, Pereira has a lot of the same advantages in terms of height and reach and kickboxing skill that Izzy has. It's a really tough test.
I think that Izzy is the more technically sound one. I think he's much more elusive. He moves better. And maybe he doesn't necessarily, maybe I can't say he moves better. He just chooses to. That's just his style. I'm sure Alex could move like that if he wanted to, but Izzy's more elusive, wants to get in, get out.
He's slicker.
Yeah, he's very clean. So I think that's clear. Alex, like you said, absolutely has the power advantage. But I was shocked at how big he is in real life, though. Like, I've never stood next to Izzy and thought, oh man, this dude's pretty big. Like, he's not a large middleweight. He's long and rangy and uses it well, but he's not real big. And Alex Pereira is huge. I don't know how he makes middleweight. I really don't. And he doesn't seem to struggle too bad with it. But because I think their weights they've shown their weights recently. And Pereira recently was like 230. And I think Izzy was like 213 or something, or 215. It's just he's drastically larger. So I think that Izzy is going to win most of the exchanges. I just don't, and I don't think he'll hurt Pereira or anything like that. I just think he's gonna be more active. But Pereira can fight him on his terms. He's the only guy in the entire mixed martial arts world, probably at that weight class, that can fight Izzy on his terms and win. So I think that, and there's no threat of wrestling. So I think that both of these guys are going into a fight that they're not used to, because neither one of these guys are shooting takedowns. I don't think that's happening. Neither one of them are going to be comfortable enough to do that. So I don't know, man. If Pereira lands, if he starts getting his rhythm and he lands something big, Izzy's going to have some serious problems. But what I'm afraid of, if I'm Alex Pereira, is that you're going to be chasing. You're never going to get an opportunity to land that big shot.
Yeah, the thing with Izzy, he is a spectacular technician. And the reflexes and the speed and the shot selection and the footwork and the composure, the confidence. He's the total package. And I think he does have the power to hurt him. I mean, look at what he did to Paulo Costa. He's taken out many people. Granted, he's been to some decisions lately as well. The Jared Cannonier fight, people weren't too thrilled with that. The Robert Whittaker fight was very, very close. But, Yoel Romero, again, very dangerous people, one after the other. But a lot of those people want to take him down. As you said, I doubt there's going to be any wrestling. But the relevance of what I'm saying there is that a lot of that time and effort that Izzy has put in, and he has put it in because the proof is in the pudding, he's very good at stopping takedowns. If he does get taken down, he's got really good ability at bouncing back up. All of that work could be, and more than likely is, essentially for this one fight, wasted time. Because it isn't going to come into effect. It's going to go down to a good old-fashioned kickboxing fight in 4 rounds gloves. I think Pereira, having knocked him out, is going to go hunting. Got to be careful. If you go hunting, you can walk onto something. But yeah, he's got devastating power, that left hook that he hits Sean Strickland with. And Sean's always shown a good chin for the most part. I think he only got knocked out one other time with a spinning wheel kick. Who was that? Elizai Zaleski dos Santos, don't you know? I think that's who it was. But still, it's an interesting one. All right, let's just talk about FitBod really quick. Listen, we all want to be in better shape. We all want to follow a better diet. We want to go down the gym and kick some ass and work our asses off. But often when you go there, you kind of lose enthusiasm because you're doing the same boring, repetitive thing over and over again. And obviously working with your own trainer is very, very expensive. Well, that is where FitBod's smart workout app comes into play. By the way, scientifically tailors an exercise program for your goals and the equipment that you have that's available to you and your schedule. And you can keep a full calendar of your gains and your progress, okay? FitBod's smart workout app creates custom dynamic exercise programs based on your goals, experience, and equipment. As I said, then varies your routine to avoid overtraining and stops you getting bored, keeps new challenges. The algorithm uses data and analytics to scientifically build your best next workout and maximize results. You can see your muscle usage, recovery, achievement, achievements, your workout streaks right there in the app, and you are in control with the workouts designed for you. So you get exactly what you need. You don't get bored. You see results, and therefore you want to work out more. You feel good. You feel better. You're investing in yourself. You need to do that. Whatever it is, you're going to work out in some way or form. And if you want to take it to the next level, have a personal trainer, but it's too costly or you don't want to go through that awkwardness, then Fitbod is for you. Okay, so we have a great offer for you. By the way, Fitbod, the app works on iOS and all Android devices. The app is easy to use. It has video tutorials as well that make learning all the new exercises very, very simple. So right now, go to fitbod.me/believe. We're going to give you 25% off your subscription. A quarter off. Fantastic offer. Okay. Fitbod.me, right? For less than the cost of one session with a personal trainer, you can get a full year of personalized workouts with Fitbod. So you can try it for free, by the way, as well. Same link, fitbod.me/believe. And if you sign up, you're going to get 25% off your subscription by going to fitbod.me/believe. What else do we have? What's going on in the non-MMA world, Harrington? Parents objected to a homework assignment to their second grade daughter who was told to take a picture reading in the bathtub. Oh, now the child has been removed from the school. Explain.
This is not a family-friendly story.
No.
Okay. So it's not really as bad as it sounds. So the idea was
Sounds pretty bad.
I know.
It sounds like the teacher wanted some kind of sexually orientated bathtub pictures.
Yeah, I read this article and I'm still not okay with it.
Okay, so the idea was taken. It's a private Christian academy in Jacksonville, Florida. The idea was taken from like a workbook that many other like teachers have used as a resource before. Essentially, the idea is to be like fun and silly. Kids were encouraged to wear either their school uniform or pajamas in like an empty bathtub and just get a picture of them reading for whatever the case may be, to make reading fun. One of the kids felt very uncomfortable with the idea and brought up their concerns to her parents. Her parents immediately emailed the school. The teacher emailed back and was like, "Yeah, this is I've had hundreds of kids do this assignment. You're the first one to ever complain. So, just chill out," essentially. And, the school and the parents went back and forth. Eventually, the school just said, you should probably just withdraw your kid from the school if this is, how you're going to object to our lesson plans. And the eventual culmination of it is that the child has been put on faculty or administrative withdrawal. So the kid is no longer a part of the school following objections to this homework assignment.
How old are these children?
Second grade, so 6 or 7.
And I'm assuming in the bathtub that means naked.
No, so like I said, they did clarify that there's no nudity that has to be involved. It's the idea is to do something silly, right? Put on your pajamas, hop in the bathtub with like a Dr. Seuss book,
Like an empty tub,
right?
like no water.
I mean, a choice is yours,
Optional.
I guess. Just
Optional.
be as silly
Could
as you
be-
want to be.
Could be the shower. You could be sat in the kitchen sink. You know what? When you put it like that,
Yeah, it sounds better.
it sounds way better.
Yeah.
It sounds way better. And I kind of, ask your wife what she thinks.
If one of the kids had like a homework assignment to like do something silly and sit in a bathtub, like in their pajamas or something, and take a picture reading, would that be weird? No, I didn't think so either. No,
It's fucking weird.
I don't think so. I don't think that okay, the way the article was sounded weird at the beginning. Once you explained it, like our kids get assignments like different, like what was one of those reading ones?
In the bathtub, though, like that's the weird part to me. You can get an assignment to be like,
yeah. One of them, the other day, my 5th grader got an assignment to read at home inside with your sunglasses on, just like a silly reading thing. And she thought it was
like a similar thing.
Yeah, she was like, "This is so cool." She's wearing sunglasses, and I get it.
Yeah, no.
They shouldn't write the headlines like that, though.
Well, that's
the
what
student
they
removed
do.
for not taking a picture in a bathtub while reading sounds pretty bad.
No, that sounds awful because bathtub. Go on, Brian.
But then they unenrolled the kid in school because he was uncomfortable getting it. Like it seems very strange.
Sounds like, to
Private
be
school.
honest, it sounds like the parents are very, very uptight, and some of those qualities have been passed down to the child. You know what I mean? Come on, it's just a bit of fun. Could have been in the shower. They could have the clothes on or whatever. It's even sillier in the bathtub with the clothes on. Do you know what I mean? And the shades on.
My kids would love that too. They're like, all right,
I mean,
go put your pajamas on and go read this book in my bathtub. Like,
children
like, yeah, fuck yeah. They'd be all
children
about
need to be silly. It's good. You got to harness that and you got to encourage that and you got to stay silly as long as they possibly can, because once that innocence goes, you know, that's the thing with Lucas. Lucas is 12 now and he's like turned into a young man. His voice is deep as a motherfucker. Do you know what I mean? And like, you know, he's becoming a young man. I have to speak to him accordingly. Kind of cringe if I try and treat him like a young little Lucas, you know, like, hey, buddy. He's like, looks at me like, what are you talking about, Dad? You know, I'm a man now. Yeah.
I'm drinking and smoking cigarettes. Don't talk to me like
that. He probably fucking is. Yeah. So yeah, that's just encouraging silliness, innocence. I like it. I've got no issues with that whatsoever.
Well, I think removing him from school is kind of weird. Like if they don't want to do it, like you guys don't want to participate and be outcasts, like whatever.
Well,
like,
I don't know. Issue with the schooling principles, perhaps, but oh well.
Yeah. So I'm just going to do a follow up. So it was the school that removed the kid, but on top of that, they did release a statement to the media when contacted that the assignment has now been taken out of all curriculums going forward.
All right. Well, okay. Well, you live and you learn. Oh well. Bo Nickal. Obviously, he was on the Contender Series a few weeks ago. I called that one. He was phenomenal. Put him on a development contract. He went back to the Contender. Was that last night or last week? I haven't seen.
Tuesday. It was Tuesday.
Tuesday. And I think he did the same thing again, right? Got a big knockdown with the left hook, then got a triangle. So he's got the contract. And it says here he's fighting Jamie Pickett. Oh, interesting. But he's been calling out Hamzat. Did you see that?
Yeah. I have a question for you. I was scrolling through Twitter earlier before we got on here, and RJ Clifford tweeted this out, and it kind of resonated with me a little bit, and I wanted to ask you this question. Hypothetical, if Bo Nickal was not a 3-time national champion and world level wrestler, and he was just a guy off the street that won those 3 fights the exact same way, would you consider him the same type of can't miss prospect? So say anybody else fought those exact same 3 people and won those fights the way he did, would you still call him like the best prospect in the world?
Well, it's kind of impossible to answer that because he is what's his accolades? A 3-time national champion. Yeah. 3 times that he is. So you can't forget that. You know, now if he wasn't and he went through those people the way that he has and shown the promise and all the rest of it, then you'd still be excited. But then when you combine that, you go, wow, this guy's legit. He's got serious skills. He can wrestle. He's got hands. He's got confidence, stamina, strength, all the rest of it. He's nasty. He's confident.
Does he have hands?
Well, he dropped him with the left hook first, you know. So
one for sure.
Well, he's definitely got a hand, you know. He's got 50% of it, and he might have a foot as well. But you know, but then when you combine that with the wrestling accolades, and we all know wrestling's the hardest sport on the goddamn planet and the toughest part to master and the most useful when it comes to mixed martial arts, you know, and he's got that. He's got that. So when you combine that all, it's kind of a stupid question to ask RJ Clifford. What the hell are you talking about? He does
I thought it was a great question. And
well, what do you think?
No, we wouldn't. He'd just be a regular ass guy coming through the Contender Series, in my opinion. But and I don't want this to be I'm shitting on Bo Nickal thing. I've through his entire wrestling career, I couldn't have been a bigger Bo Nickal fan. I loved his style. Did you follow him? I did, yeah. I'm a big Penn State wrestling fan. I love their team. Right. I love their coach. I love the culture there. They're always great. So I couldn't give him more praise on his wrestling ability and his accolades. But I do have a little pause on the hype. And it's not because I don't think it's possible. It's because I haven't seen anything that super impressed me with the competition that he's been fighting. So he landed, he's obviously an athlete. So he's got power in his hands. He knows how to move his feet because of wrestling. He knows how to anchor himself and be explosive. So, but kind of the shot he landed was like your old run of the mill, feint the takedown, feint the takedown, feint the takedown, feint the takedown, throw the overhand, you know, like any kind of step through into a foot trip. But he made a couple bad decisions in that short amount of time. I know everyone kind of, he ran through 3 submission attempts and he landed the big left hand. Like I seen a guy shoot a very rudimentary takedown, or at least the setup to it was very beginner-ish. And it wasn't even really a takedown because he dropped him. Fall into a mounted guillotine on a, like, no one good is going to let you mount and guillotine him at the same time off of that. Like, that's just not going to happen. But then being willing to go to your back to chase a submission attempt when you're such a dominant wrestler on top seems like a bad decision. And like, Luke Thomas was raving about his triangle with no hands. Like that says more about the shitness of his opponent and not so much about how good Bo Nickal is.
Potentially,
but it's not. And again, this is not a knock on Bo Nickal.
No.
I want to see him versus someone really good.
But I think you're missing the point. Is that the hype and the talk and calling out Hamzat and all the rest of it is absolutely working because we're talking about it here. I didn't see that one. Obviously, I'm out here working, but I called his first one. And his first one, he was fucking phenomenal. He absolutely ragdolled the guy technically and took a rear naked choke on. And he looked phenomenal doing it. Didn't take a hit. The guy was hardly sweating, hardly got his heart rate up, and absolutely marmalized the guy. And he's backing it up with the mouth. So not only is he delivering inside the octagon, he's showing that he's the full package. He's showing that he can be marketable, and he's showing someone that has the type of skills to go up against these Chechen, these Dagestani wrestlers, because they are kind of dominating the sport at the minute, Obviously, they're not all champions. I know that before you all start, but there's a lot of them, and they are making big waves in the sport. And he's talking shit. He's calling out people kind of respectfully. He's not talking shit, but he's setting his stall out. And that's what I like to see from fighters. I like them to do that, and it makes us interested and it makes the sport and the product better because it garners your attention, and then you enjoy what you see more because you're invested. Is he going to live up to it? Is he going to get his ass kicked? Is he going to get shut up, silenced, embarrassed, made a fool of? Or is he going to back it up like Conor did back in the old days? That's what made it so exciting. Yeah. He used to call his round and all the rest of it, See, I'm not a fucking hater. I'll give the man fucking props, you little shit. But God bless him. What do you think, though? Him and Hamzat, it is a little early. Dana said slow your roll.
Yeah, definitely slow your roll. He will ragdoll Hamzat in a wrestling match. It won't even think? It wouldn't even be competitive.
Really?
He's that fucking good. There's not a Dagestani Russian wrestler in the UFC that's going to beat Bo Nickal. I don't even care what weight class you say it is.
I want to fucking see it.
There isn't one that's going to beat him in a wrestling match. There just isn't.
Who do you think?
The only reason he didn't wrestle in the Olympics, just the guy ahead of him is just better. But it doesn't. He's the second best wrestler in the entire world anywhere around that weight class. That's just how it is. So
that's not a bad accolade to have. The second best wrestler in the world.
Yeah. He is that good.
Did the guy that beats him go to the Olympics and win gold?
Man, I keep trying to. As you were talking, I was trying to remember who was ahead of him.
Callum said, because Callum obviously is all about the wrestling, and he mentioned it a while ago, but I forget. But anyway, slightly moving on from Bo Nickal before we're losing the casuals, but staying on topic. Staying on topic with this. If we were to pick out the best wrestlers in the UFC right now, forgetting Bo Nickal for a start, who would you say? Or the best wrestlers that we've seen in the UFC, top 3. I'll go first. I think you're gonna have Daniel Cormier in there. Mm-hmm. Who else? I mean, that's
David Taylor. There we go. There. Thank you, Harrington. David Taylor is who was ahead of Bo Nickal, and yes, he ended up winning gold.
Hamzat, do you think he deserves that shout? DC, who's Ben Askren, maybe?
GSP.
I mean, GSP, he mixed it up.
Yeah,
better. I think he was the best at mixing it up and mixing the arts.
Usman. Usman's a good wrestler.
Oh, fucking hell. Usman deserves a shout. Of course he does.
Who do you think the best is?
Right now? Active?
Both. Not like ever and active right now.
Oh, I don't know. So you're the wrestling guy. You know more about wrestling than I do. Who would you say? And I'll piggyback off that.
If we're leaving Bo Nickal out, then right now I would say Bo Nickal for sure. But I would say.
Well, hold on. You say Bo Nickal is the best wrestler the UFC's ever seen?
I think he's the best active wrestler in the UFC right now. Now, how is he going to translate that to high-level mixed martial arts? I don't know. But if we're talking pure wrestling, absolutely, without a doubt, Bo Nickal is the best wrestler in the UFC.
All right, who was the one that you said?
And the second isn't even that close.
Who was the one that you said was going to surprise me a moment ago?
Gamrot.
Oh, Mataj Gamrot. No, he can wrestle, man. He's a little unorthodox, but he goes to that low single a lot. But
funky style, but it's super effective.
That is a bit of a strange shout out.
I was just thinking about him earlier, actually, today, about just his wrestling and how, even with Sarukian, who's a fantastic wrestler in his own right.
What a fight that was.
Fight. Yeah. Now we're nerding out big time.
All right, so it says here UFC Brazil has its first fight as an interim title holder. Brandon Moreno faces off against Deiveson Figueiredo for the fourth time in just over 2 years in the UFC's first trip to Brazil since March of 2020, which was in Brasilia, which was Tony Ferguson versus, I was there, Benil Dariush, I want to say. Was it not? Anyway, whatever I called it, there was no crowd.
Kevin Lee versus Charles Oliveira.
Kevin Lee, Charles Oliveira, correct. You are right.
That was the event with no fans, right? It was like last second they canceled all the fans.
Yep. We were flying down there, and we got to, obviously the coronavirus was just starting to kick in, and then we got to the airport, and we were sitting in the lounge, and some guy was like, "Yeah, they're closing the borders, they're doing this." I was like, "It sounds a bit of a stretch." And then we got to Florida because we had a connecting flight, and again it was getting worse and worse and worse. And by the time we got to Brazil, no fans in attendance, but the show went on. Deiveson Figueiredo, fourth time, Brandon Moreno. I was surprised at that. Has that been announced, by the way? It must have been. I was announced that it wasn't Glover Teixeira versus Jiri Prochazka. Or I'm surprised that they're not both fights on the same card in Brazil. How good would that have been?
They still could be, right?
I'm pretty sure Harrington said on the last show that one's in Vegas, right?
Yeah, so the leading rumor right now is that it's going to be Jiri Prochazka versus Glover Teixeira for UFC 282 in Las Vegas. It looks like they're doing that before the Brazil card for whatever reason.
Right. I have no idea.
That is weird. I would like to see.
I'm so out the loop out here. It's driving me fucking crazy, to be honest.
It is kind of shitty. Like if you're Glover Teixeira, you probably want at least for a fight for the title or defend it or whatever it is in Brazil at least once, right?
It's pretty, absolutely. I mean, that's the dream, to go back to your home country as a champion. Right. I was very lucky I got to do that. Jiri Prochazka, not so much. Do you know what I mean? You just win the belt in a really hard fight, then you're going to go down to Brazil. Those Brazilian fans are fucking nuts, but they're awesome. Mm-hmm. That's why we love him. Brandon Moreno, Figueiredo, fourth time. Quick analysis. What do you think? Who gets it?
Yeah, they're like the only guys in that division, I guess. It's crazy. That's a lot. I still think it's a tough fight for Moreno. I do. I think that everything he does well, Figueiredo also does well, just more explosive and more powerful. Again, Brandon Moreno kind of smoked him one time, but I think if Figueiredo has a good weight cut, he's healthy and doesn't struggle through maybe some of those injuries and weight cuts, I think Brandon Moreno is going to have a tough time, getting over on Figueiredo.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree. I mean, Moreno's so goddamn good. He's absolutely phenomenal. And last few times
working with Krause, he's looked really good.
Working with James Krause, he's only going to get better. And that's no disrespect to his former coaches. I say it every time. Whenever you go and change training camps, and Krause is tried and tested. He has a lot of success as a coach. But going from one camp to another camp, they've always got new things to teach you, new little wrinkles, new little secrets, techniques, things they like, ways to get ready for a fight, ways to mentally prepare, cut weight. So he's just going to learn and get better and better, plus more sparring partners, which is always advantageous.
Yeah, I was going to say that at Krause's gym at Glory MMA and Fitness in Kansas City, they got a couple guys that are a lot like Figueiredo, like short, stocky, real explosive, great wrestlers, good power, big power shots. I guess as we talked it out, you might have just convinced me, but with Krause, he's going to do a better job of staying safe and not taking big shots, because his style is very much ingrained in a lot of his fighters. It's super high volume, very defensively responsible. Don't take a lot of shots. Everything's a system. They work through systems in every position that you're in. And Figueiredo's kind of he's kind of a bully. He needs to be able to push you around and land.
He's the bad guy.
Yeah. So
He definitely is, but that's kind of his style. He's
Yeah.
kind of a bully. That's what he does. All right, let's just hear from our old friends, rockauto.com. You know the deal by now. Rockauto.com have all the car parts that you need at competitive prices. That is why they've been in business for over 20 years. They literally have everything that you need, whatever it is. You haven't got to jump in your car. You haven't got to drive to a store. You haven't got to wait in line. You haven't got to have some guy selling you shit you don't need at marked up prices. No, you just sit there on your computer, your phone, your laptop, whatever it is. You go to rockauto.com. We don't even have a promo code for you because, as I said, the pricing is already that good. That's why they've been in business for over 20 years. So as I say, if you work on your car, you tinker on your car, you need something's bothering you, whatever it is, if it's to do with a car, they have it at the best prices. Go to rockauto.com. Tell them that you heard about us on the Believe You Me podcast, or heard about them, should I say. And yeah, there it is, rockauto.com. Have fun. Harrington asking us both, Anthony, do we have a issue with creepy crawlies in our house? Harrington, explain, because I do. Well, I do. They fucking drive me nuts. Cockroaches, man. It's fucking gross. Cockroaches for years.
Oh, like, do I like personally?
Yeah.
I thought you meant like in my house. I was like,
yeah. Do you have an issue with creepy crawlies? I'm saying I do with cockroaches.
You have cockroaches in your house?
Not all over the house, just around the sink, the kitchen sink. Late at night when we come downstairs and we turn the light on, there's a few scuttling around. You know what I mean? And they're fucking gross, man. I hate them. But, we've had an exterminator around a couple of times, but slowly but surely, those little bastards, they make an appearance again.
The bug problem here in Nebraska isn't as bad as it is in a lot of other places, like in the Midwest, because once a year everything gets killed because it freezes.
So cold.
It's so cold and it kills everything. So I don't think we get the continued of year after year after year of the population growing. It just after the first freeze, everything dies, and then
how are you with insects and creepy crawlies? We'll call them insects because we're grown men.
I don't fuck with bugs.
No, man.
I don't fuck with bugs, snakes, spiders.
I don't mind them to look at. I find them absolutely fascinating. I mean, the shit that insects can do, you know what I mean? I can't think of any examples right now. They're like science fiction creatures. They're legit fucking aliens. If you were to blow them up, the stuff they can do.
They look so weird.
Making fucking webs and fucking, spitting out their own like vomit, acid, and dissolving them and then eating them and sucking up the blood. And the stuff they do is mental. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy science fiction shit. So they're fascinating.
Ants can lift 10 times their body weight.
Ants can lift 10 times
so
their body weight.
Shit, what you talking about?
Yeah, Harrington.
Come on,
Anthony's a fucking superhero, bro.
Fucking rip, bro.
But if they touch me, I freak out. I am a little bitch. Like if a wasp is around, you know. But Harrington, what is this story?
So a research team has put together a device, and it's open source, right? So anybody can download the plans to do this and build this machine at home for yourself. For about $250, you can build an AI-guided cockroach laser destruction system.
Okay, you can't just stop there.
Yeah.
Explain how it works.
Okay, well, I mean, here's the thing right here. So you feed it the info into this AI, tell it what you're looking for, right? And then this device, right? You see the cockroach right there inside the case. The thing is sighting now. It's looking for the cockroach, and there, bam, zap it with a laser. Zap it with a laser until the thing stops moving.
Freaking laser beams on their heads.
Do you need to capture the cockroach?
I was gonna say you're gonna capture the cockroach, put it inside the thing. That's the ish. I don't have time to running around catching every fucking cockroach in my house. That's why for the most part,
to catch it.
No. So they were just showing, like, that was a showcase of what it can do if it's just on the stand. But yeah, you can just set those turrets up around your house, program into the AI what you want it to be looking to detect. And as it catches moving across your house, zap, 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 zap.
They want you to set up little laser turrets around your house. That's
pretty sweet.
Yeah. No.
Star Wars shit.
No?
I'm in.
No.
I'm in.
No.
Oh yeah, I'm in.
Well, you would be because you're a psycho, but I don't want
little turrets all over the place and just bang, bang, bang.
Shooting your kids because the artificial intelligence gets a little fucking moody one day.
Tell my kids to stop fucking around. Fuck around and find out.
learning too much, reading the codes, improving themselves. You know what I mean?
what I'm
Artificial intelligence is going to take over the world and kill the human race. Terminator 2 had it right, or Terminator in general. Scientists say, what is that, Brian?
That was just me being a fucking spaz.
Did you not see, who was it? Oh, Elon Musk says that artificial intelligence is a way bigger threat to the human race than what nuclear bombs are.
Whoa. That's deep.
What
That's deep.
No, but it is though.
Well,
Have you
could
seen
be
what
right.
they do? No, but it is. It is. Those machines. Have you seen what they're doing now? I mean, it's fucking insane, man. These
Like
robots.
the ones like the robots in China that are like telling people to put masks on and shit.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about them. They're not doing fuck all. I told one to fuck off in Singapore. Didn't say shit. You know, shit his pants right there. I said, yeah, fuck off. Do one. Didn't say shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking.
But no, the advanced ones.
Yeah.
I don't know where you find them. But
Yeah,
one day they're going to be advanced. They're going to be walking around saying, "I need your clothes, your keys, and your motorcycle." Tell me you've seen. What movie is that?
I have no idea.
Oh, Anthony Smith. Stop. No.
What movie?
Right.
Come on, you got to know what that is.
I need your clothes, your keys, and or something like that. Your car, your clothes, your keys, and your hasta la vista, baby.
So,
the Terminator.
so remember when they had that dog robot and people were like, "Oh, look, it's just a fucking cute dog robot." Well, check this shit out. They put a gun on it.
Oh yeah, no.
That's what I need.
Now
Yes.
you get excited. Now you get excited.
Fuck yeah.
That
I
came out
need
a
one
while
of
ago.
those. I need one of
Today.
those.
Well, we'll get.
I need a bigger safe.
We'll start a petition for you to get a robot dog with an Uzi 9mm. Uzi 9mm. What was I going to say? Today I saw robots running 100-meter races, not as fast as humans, but fucking running like not far behind a human can do it. You know, and it's only going to get better. So yeah,
If I seen a
Elon Musk is
robot
right.
sprinting down the street, I'd probably trip it.
Yeah, you'd probably hurt yourself. Made of metal, bro.
Well, maybe if I still had my crutches, just stick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you careful with your leg. Careful with your leg there, hop along. You and Conor ain't tripping anyone up anytime soon. Oh dear. You know, shout out Tom Aspen. I hope you well. I sent a voice note to Tom through a friend of mine's phone, big Joe Long. He said, "Oh, shoot Tom a voicemail," and I said to him, and then afterwards I started second guessing myself. I went, "Hey, hop along. Hope you well." Do you know what I mean? And then afterwards I thought, was that insensitive? If someone said that to you as you were recovering, would that have bothered you?
No, I don't think so. No,
I don't think so either. I just get paranoid. I think he never responded. Do you know what I mean? Is he offended?
He never did.
He never responded.
Oh, you better hope he's not watching this shit. Yeah.
Tom, get on the pod. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. What else have we got, Harrington? Give us another silly one. Reporters are being sent flying and sharks are swimming. Oh, the fucking hurricanes, man. It's bad. What's going on, Hamilton? What's going on with the Sharks?
So a Category 4 storm touchdown made landfall in Florida yesterday. As a result, people are putting videos all over social media of, basements flooding, of water rushing everywhere. There is, if you pull up the article that I sent, Brian, there's a video of a reporter who's like standing, trying to make a report. And you can see like the wind is just almost knocking him over. And there's also video, right, that the sea level has gotten so high with the rain that sharks are actually able to come in from the Atlantic Ocean and are just swimming down the street in Fort Myers. Yeah, look at that.
Wow. Is that a shark?
That is a shark.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Guys, I'm so stupid. Like, I just thought to myself, man, that'd be awesome. I'd just go catch that fucking thing.
You're a big kid. You're so, like,
I am like, how could I catch it? Like, how could I catch it?
That's a shark, bro. It's gonna eat you.
No, I was in my head, like right away. I was like, I wonder how I could catch that thing. Like, I just want to catch it. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I want to catch it.
Yeah, well,
but also feel terrible because that means that's someone's neighborhood.
You shoot. What would be your go-to method of catching that? I feel like you're just going to pull a gun out and shoot it. You're not going to try and catch it with a fishing rod. You're far too.
I'd probably shoot at it.
Yeah,
probably.
But that's not fair, is it? It's not exactly sport.
Yeah, this is. I mean, there's not exactly judges or referees here either.
No, I know, but the poor old fish.
Okay, I probably wouldn't shoot it just because I don't want people to think I'm the guy that just goes out and shoots random animals. But if I had the correct gear, I would try to fish and catch it.
No, I saw the Hurricane Ian. Is it? No, normally they have female names. This one gets a guy name because it's so powerful and devastatingly strong, I'm assuming. I saw a guy and he was like getting blown away and he was trying to fucking catch hold of a flag. It's like a telegraph pole or something. And he gets it. Yeah, cars flooded in the garages. Like some guy, he had like a garage full of like Rolls Royce Phantoms and McLarens and Ferraris and stuff, all just destroyed underwater. Man. And the insurance won't cover that because it's a natural disaster. You know, what a nightmare.
Oh, shit.
People down in that, I mean, you don't get that, the weather like that, right?
No, we get tornadoes, but not hurricanes.
Yeah, I really feel for him, man. It's just awful to be going through that stuff because it happens all the time. I'm sure it's not
often.
It's a yearly event.
More than once in a lifetime is too often.
Well, yeah. And it seems to be I'm in a different part of the southeast, you know what I mean? But fucking hell, like New Orleans, they get it bad, don't they? They get it really bad, quite regularly.
I seen a video today of a guy that had a big, real big, nice house right on the Gulf of Mexico. And he walked out and you could see where the water line was, where his dock was, and there was no water. Like the storm had sucked all the water out of the Gulf of Mexico. It was crazy. Yeah, you know what? I need to do a better job because I always tell these stories, but then I never like send the video to Brian or Harrington or whatever. So I just talk about it and I do
the same thing. Occasionally, though, you will see in our group text, I do a little copy and paste from the address bar at the top of the browser. That's all you got to do. Easy peasy. Let's have a look. Here we go, Brian. He's got his thing. Is this it? What is that?
This is a picture of the coast getting the water pulled out.
That is absolutely insane.
Right, we'll do one more. Harrison, what's this about? A Wrexham man. Shout out Wrexham, North Wales in the house.
Is that a place?
It's a place in Wales. I hope so. I think I'm getting that right. Wrexham, North Wales, ordered to pay £100,000 after spending nearly $400,000 in donations to his cancer charity in a failed plan to build a giant dragon statue.
Right. So the idea here, right, was to create something. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Angel of the North. I never had before reading this article, but apparently like it's a big tourist destination. So the idea here was to do something similar for Wrexham, build like a giant Welsh dragon that would be like in the town square of Wrexham, like a giant bronze dragon statue. So all this money that was coming into his charity for his cancer charity that was supposed to go to, local hospitals to buy equipment and help people, instead went towards this planned statue, which in fact was never built. So, So when he was brought up on charges for misappropriating funds, the judge ordered that he has to pay, I think it was £112,000 to various different cancer organizations.
Well, I mean, listen. First of all, the dragon would have been awesome.
I was just saying, I wish they would have built that. That's pretty cool.
Dragon looks great, okay, but the money should have been going to cancer patients. Let's be honest there. But it's not a bad little scam that he's got going because he earned $400,000 in donations, but he only got fined $112,000. If my math serves me correctly, that is a profit of £288,000, and he didn't build anything. He just pocketed that cash.
All right, believers. So here's the next thing that we're gonna do: is we're gonna need donations to build a statue.
What would we build a statue of? Anthony Smith?
Sure. Whatever.
I mean, my face is still
fucked. You've got a massive cut on your forehead.
Yeah, it's definitely fucked. That's for sure.
Your hair's growing back on top. You're letting the measurement go down.
I haven't cut it. I got a cut on my face, barely shaved. We should do a statue of me standing next to a robot dog with a Uzi on top of it.
Me and you standing over Harrington holding his hands whilst Harrington's giving birth to his own baby. All right, let's talk about Manscaped. You know the deal by now. Manscaped, top of the food chain, product if you're trying to, trim your downstairs area, your private areas. You're not going to nick yourself. You're not going to hurt yourself, all that good stuff. The 4.0 performance package has the Manscaped. It has the latest version. It has the battery life, the power, the light, the waterproofness, all the rest of it, the skin safe technology that it's known for. But also you get the weed whacker, so you can trim the ear and the nose hairs. You got the crop preserver ball deodorant. You got the crop reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and the travel bag to hold them all in. Of course, men also have, in my experience, some pretty funky toenails. Take care of them with the Shear 2.0 kit. You get the stainless steel nail cutters. You get the tweezers. You get the grooming scissors. And you get to take care of your feet. And, of course, you get to do it with a 20% discount and free shipping when you go to manscaped.com and you use the code Bisping20. As I said, the Performance Package 4.0, you get all that. The Shear 2.0 kit will take care of your toenails, okay? You should have a Manscaped, okay? If you're a man and you don't groom downstairs, you've seen it when you get out of the shower. You look in the mirror and you're like, oh, yeah, it's a mess. Take care of that. Treat yourself to the Performance Package 4.0. Go to manscaped.com. Use the code Bisping20. You're going to get 20% off and free shipping.
You didn't tell us about this this sex scene.
Oh.
Did you have a coach or something? Did they coach you through this? Like, how does that work on a movie set?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
were you naked? Like, dick out?
Well, no, I didn't have to do it. So in this movie, Red Sonja, which, by the way, is going to be absolutely fucking phenomenal. It really is. I'm telling you, this movie is going to be very cool. It's going to blow people's minds. Some awesome scenes and whatever. It's going to be great. If you love fantasy, you love monsters, you love battles, it's very Game of Thrones-y, fantasy stuff. It's cool, man. It's going to be a great film. And I had a sex scene. And I've never done one before. So I was kind of like, I was apprehensive about it. But if I'm honest, I was always, I was a little not excited. That's the wrong word to use. But I was kind of looking forward to expanding my repertoire and doing something I've never done. Not that I want to do a sex scene in a film, but.
Mike, you have 3 kids. What do you mean something you've never done?
No, you know what I mean. But typically, my kind of roles are always kind of similar. Always a tough guy, always a badass, usually a villain, dying a variety of ways. This time I'm a good guy, with edges. But I get to do a sex scene. I thought, this is something new. It's a challenge. You know what I mean? And we had the intimacy officer emailing back and forth. In fact, if I had my phone, I'd read it out. Hold on, where is it? Hold on, wait, one second.
Eventually.
So I know you and your partner, she will be on top of you, facing each other. There won't be any nudity. When we're together, we can talk through the choreography of it. I'm pretty sure I've got that down. Pretty sure I know how to do that. But we'll talk through the choreography. I'll provide some options for silicone-in barriers that can be worn inside the underwear to reduce chances of stimulation, and an external barrier that we place between performers to help with the motions of the simulated sex while helping to avoid genital contact. And I was like, oh, shit.
You're like, well, this sucks. This is the worst sex scene ever.
I'm like, fucking hell. So I said to the director, we were having dinner, and I asked her, I said, does that happen? She says, yeah. Oh, it happens. Apparently it's a very common thing because, if you have and to be fair, this wasn't like an overly sensual scene. It was more like rough sex, Mm-hmm. But I was like, oh my God, I do not need this embarrassment in my life. Do you know what I mean? Fucking Conor's out there smashing it with Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm getting thrown off set because I'm getting a massive, and when I say massive, it would have been huge stonk on. Do you know what I mean? But then I'm joking, of course. But it would have been tiny, but still a stonk on nonetheless. Fortunately today the director came in and she said, we're not doing it. You're off the hook. We've decided against it. So there you go. So I would have been mortified today. I would have been sitting there drinking lots of red wine and drowning my shame and embarrassment. But Rebecca was cool with it. She didn't give a shit. You know what I mean? She was very mature. It is what it is. We signed up. We're acting.
It's work. It's work. Yeah.
It's work, babe. It's gonna have simulated sex.
I wish you would have done it though.
I know.
She was being cool about it because when she gets a role where she has sex scenes.
Oh yeah, can't say anything there. Harrington, before we get to some questions and stuff, is there anything pressing, any breaking news that we need to get to that we haven't? All right, good talk.
All right. I was sorry. I was looking here. The only thing that really, honestly, this did kind of get my juices flowing a little bit. Rafael Dos Anjos asked for fun fights, says he's not chasing a title anymore. He's been matched up against Brian Barberena, back to 170 pounds. What do you guys think about this? Almost sure to be slobber knocker of a fight.
Anthony?
I love Brian Barberena. I did that. I spent some time in North Carolina with Weidman last few fights, and Barberena trains at that same gym. He's a goddamn monster. He's a different type of guy. He's got a different type of mentality. I love RDA. I'm sure you can speak to him more than I can. You guys know each other pretty well, right? So I think that's a barn burner fight. And I love that RDA is in a place where he's just looking for fun, crazy fights, and I think he found himself one for sure.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I love it. I love that. And we spoke about this recently, the realization from Dos Anjos to be like, all right, fair enough. I realize I'm not going to be a champion anymore. I don't want to fight the fucking number one contenders or the top 5 guys in the division because I'm near the end of my career. But I still want to fight. I still want to fight. I still want to make a living doing this, and I still want to put on entertaining fights. But don't give me the number 3 guy. Don't give me a Leon Edwards, a Colby Covington, a Kamaru Usman. I mean, these are the people he fought back to back, and I'm pretty much verbatim repeating what I said last time. Brian Barberena, I think, is a perfect matchup. Because for Dos Anjos, it's a tough fight, but it's a winnable fight. For Barberena, it's an opportunity to go out there and get a legend, a real legend on his resume. If you can get a win over Dos Anjos, everybody wants that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before I fought, I remember, and I'll throw it to you in a second, see if you had someone similar. I remember I was in my 3rd ever MMA fight. I was supposed to fight Babalu. And also Sobral on Cage Rage 7. Yeah. I was meant to fight him, but he pulled out last minute with an injury. So I fought for the belt against Mark Epstein, but he was just a slugger. But and I remember talking to him with my training partner at the time, and we were just, I'd had a couple of fights, and he'd had 1 or 2 fights as well. And he was like, Mike, either way, and this is way before either of us were doing big things, before I got to the UFC or anything. We were just dreaming of being MMA fighters. And he was like, Mike, win or fucking lose, you get to step in the cage with a fucking legend like Renato Sobral. Do you know what I mean? That's something you can talk about when you're older. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And for a fighter, that's what you want. You want those kind of names on your resume. You want to know and say that you stepped in there with someone that held the belt, someone that was a champion, someone that was recognized and loved by the community worldwide. Was there anyone like that in your career coming up, or someone that you always wanted to fight?
Yeah, Shogun was that one for me. It was. I took it on 6 days notice or something like that in Germany. And I remember when they called, and it was, yeah, for sure. And they were like, my manager and my coach were like, hey, are you sure this is short notice? This is Shogun. I was like, who gives a shit? Like, even if he beats the shit out of me, I got to go in there and fight Shogun, not in Brazil. Like, I got to do it in neutral territory where I can actually enjoy it. And not feel like I'm gonna get murdered, like, fuck yeah. So that was, I remember being in the octagon, waiting for Shogun, because I walked first, and he has that same song that he used in Pride. He's used the same song the whole time.
Which one is it?
I don't know what it's called. It's there's no words to it. It's just like a tune.
Brazilian style, or is it dance music?
No, it's like kind of dance music.
Yeah.
And so the music started playing, and for just a split second, I got excited because Shogun was walking out to fight. And then I realized, oh shit, I'm in here. Like, he's coming for me. But it was cool. I had this real, just kind of, I don't know, surreal moment where, like, for just a second, I was like, I made it.
Yeah.
Like, I made it. Here I am getting ready to fight Shogun Hua.
I was like that when I fought Rashad Evans. When I fought Rashad, UFC 78, my first ever main event. And it was a close fight, and he beat me fair and square. But, like, I was the same way. I was like, look at this. I was like 18 months away, removed from working a dead-end minimum wage job. And now here I am, I'm fucking main eventing in America against Rashad Evans, who had won the Ultimate Fighter 2. So in my mind, I always looked at him as like a fucking superstar. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I was so happy to just be there, that I don't really think, and I'm not making excuses, I'm not taking it away from his win, but I'm so happy to be there. I don't think I really went out there and fought with the same aggression that I used to, because I was like, this is awesome. And I remember afterwards, my old manager was fuming and pissed off, but I was like, this is great. What are you talking about? It's like, you've just had your first fucking loss. I'm like, yeah, but
it's Rashad Evans.
This fucking whole become a professional fighter thing is going pretty well, isn't it? It's only been 2 years and I'm in America. It's like, yeah, but you got to keep winning, dickhead. Anyway.
Yeah. I think I did the opposite with Shogun. So I fought Rashad right before that, but and I don't want to, again, I guess I'm going to kind of minimize my own win, but Rashad was on a losing streak and he was really struggling, and he was in a transition kind of in his own life. So I didn't get the superstar Rashad. You know, I was his last fight in the UFC. So I didn't really feel like I got the Rashad that I wanted. But I think when I fought Shogun, I was so just happy to be there and felt like I didn't even care if I won. I was just the second he stepped in there, I was like, oh, my job's done. So whatever happens after this, I don't really care. So I think it made me a little more dangerous because I just didn't care. Like if I shoot in here and he knocks me out, who gives a shit? I was here, and everyone else that talks shit wasn't.
You know, it's so nice hearing you sit there and talk about it, Anthony, like this. I mean, obviously you've got a ridiculously smart analytical mind for the sport. We know you're a vicious fighter, and you can see your eyes light up when you're talking about fighting. And I think I speak for all of us. We can't wait for you to fucking get healed up 100% and get back in there and get that goddamn belt. Come on, let's go. All right, listen. If you've got any questions for us, you can send them into bympod@gmail.com. We are working on a new intro, by the way. That's obviously going to feature Anthony Smith, because that's the old one. This is the old one. Do you know what I mean? This is our podcast. You know what I'm saying? So Brian's been working on it for a little bit, and we're doing some new images and whatnot. But then since I came out here, we got distracted. It's kind of fallen by the wayside. It's on its way, believers, and it's on its way, Mr. Smith. Yeah. And if you have a question, you send it in to bympod@gmail.com. Herringbone.
If you are enjoying this show on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts, make sure you're subscribed to the show. Leave a rating, leave a 5-star rating, positive review. We really appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that notification bell to find out whenever new episodes drop. And if you're in the live premiere, hit that like button. It really helps us out. Also, if you want to catch over 300 episodes of this program you can't find anywhere else, ad-free and uncensored, head to gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use the promo code BYM, get a 7-day free trial, and check out over 20 great shows on the network.
Well said. And with that said, Brian.
I like how Harrington put on his customer service voice for that one.
He does. He changes. He tries to be all over professional, you know, but whatever. He's got a baby on the way. We'll let him off.
Let him slide.
Are we going to use that excuse for 9 months? It's fine.
Well, not 9 months. Yeah. Not 9 fucking months. No way. But go on. What we got?
All right. So the first question here is from James from Birmingham.
James here from Birmingham, Erdington, hometown of Leon Edwards. What can I say? Just on a 6-mile run, early in the morning, 6:30 before work. But thought I'd drop you this question. Sugar Sean O'Malley, should he get the win against Peter Yan? Does he deserve a title shot next? Considering he hasn't actually done or been booked for a 5-round fight even. And then you got Cheetah over there, who's got a win over Sean O'Malley, right up there in the rankings. Potentially going to fight Corey Sandhagen next. I would quite like to see O'Malley get the winner of them, because the rematch with Cheetah is going to be huge. Maybe book it main event on a fight night, or even him against Sandhagen. I suppose same height, 2 tallest people of that division. Stylistically, would be quite an entertaining one in my opinion. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Big fan of the podcast, by the way. Bisping, you're a legend of the UK. Anthony Smith, always been one of my favourite light heavyweights. I was gutted for you in a few of them. I'm not going to talk about them too much because I'm sure you don't want to hear it. And congratulations on the baby, man like Mike Harrington.
Yes. Oh, that's nice. That's nice way to finish it off there. Yeah, James, shout out, mate. Birmingham. Earlington, did he say? Not familiar with that place, but home of Leon Edwards. Shout out Leon, by the way. So what did he say? Right, hold on. He said a few things there. What did
Sean O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley.
Should he get the title shot if he beats
Yan? I mean, it's a good question. I would say, obviously Cheetah Vera's right there, having just knocked out fucking Dominic Cruz. They've fought before. They need to fight again, you know, because of the way it ended. It was a legitimate win. O'Malley has sour grapes, feels it didn't really happen. Would it go down like that again in a rematch? No, it wouldn't. I'm talking about a calf kick. It's very rare to happen. So I would be excited as a fan to watch that fight. But I do think if he beats Petr Yan, then that kind of puts him right there. What do you think?
Yeah, it's hard to turn him down on that. Like if you beat Petr Yan, like you're kind of the guy.
Yes.
It's such a weird deal though, because I think Yan is one of the better matchups for him in the division. It's just stylistically, I don't want to say it favors him, but it's definitely a winnable fight. It's a fun fight. It's one that he can be super successful in if he plays his cards right. But like a guy like Sandhagen, that's a really tough fight for a guy like Sean O'Malley. Cheeto Vera is always going to be a tough fight for a guy like Sean O'Malley. So I think some of the harder matchups for Sean O'Malley are guys that are ranked below Petr Yan.
The fight I really want to see is Cheeto versus O'Malley. Obviously, Cheeto, good friend of mine, very good friend of the show. We all love Cheeto. But O'Malley being who he is, the Sugar Show, man, it's a big deal. People love to watch him. He rocks it every time. He always puts on a show. He's a big, big star. If he beats Petr Yan, it has to be a title fight. Petr Yan was the last champ, was dominating people, took out Jose Aldo in style. If O'Malley can go out there and beat him, hey, this fight sports, what have you done for me lately? You're as good as your last fight. And if in his last fight he beats Sean O'Malley, if he beats Petr Yan, pardon me, you can't deny him. You can't. And the good news is that Cheeto could be his first title defense. And that is great for both men. Obviously, I'm a big fan of both of them. I love them both. Obviously, Cheeto's my boy. So I would love to see that. I would love to see them two fight. And I'm sure the UFC would love to see that as well. He's got the whole nation of Ecuador behind him. Cheeto's a big star in his own right. He's got knockout power. He's just a cool fucking guy, as is O'Malley. He's probably the biggest star in the bantamweight division, even including the champ,
Yeah.
So if he can beat Petr Yan, then he fights Aljamain for the belt, but that's going to be hard stylistically. Yeah. But let's just dream. Let's just dream that he does it. He does it.
Right.
Cheeto, O'Malley, title defense. Title fight, pay-per-view. Oof.
That's a win-win for the UFC financially too. At that point, you don't even care who wins. You got either the whole country of Ecuador, or you keep building the star Sean O'Malley. It's a win-win.
No, it is. It is. But thanks for the question, James. Appreciate you, bro. Brian?
All right, we got one more here today. And
guys, what's going on with the lack of questions? Send them in. Danielle, where you at these days? Boogerbeard, send them in.
We need Boogerbeard for sure.
If Boogerbeard sends in a picture of himself in a pair of Y fronts, we'll play it. But he has to be almost naked. And I want to see testicle hair.
Have to see him.
And we have to be.
I don't think that's true.
I think we voted 2-1.
Fair enough.
Balls or nothing.
And our say so. No offense, Brian, we love you. But our say so has a bit more say so.
I get it, but I still got to put this up on YouTube.
Well, yeah, we don't want that. How much shut the fuck up? You don't get a say.
Yeah, Boogerbeard, grow a pair and then show it to us.
Grow a pair and show a pair. That could be today's episode title.
All right, so we have one more non-MMA question here today, and it's from Raul from Spain.
Raul.
I'll try to be understandable because my English, here's the book. I'm trying to learn so well. Okay, all of you seem so well spoken that my question is to all of you: are you usually readers? Maybe you like El Quixote. Maybe you read some 19th decimononic novel. So, if this is the case, could you make a recommendation of some book you like? I would like to know which is your interest in reading, if there's. Well, guys, you make these days more enjoyable with your Believe You Me podcast. And, well, nice to see you. Rooting on you. Anthony, rooting on you. Bisping in Red Sonja. And, well, work to Brian. You look like Thor. And fuck you, Harrington. Right? Congratulations. You'll be a great, great father. Greetings from Valencia, Spain. Good job, guys.
Oh, bless him.
His English isn't that bad. Yeah, he got there.
It's better than my Espanol. That's for goddamn sure.
That's for sure.
He nailed fuck you, Harrington.
He did. He did.
Yeah. Well, that's how his English is going to get better, by listening to English podcasts, or English TV shows. Are you much of a reader, Anthony Smith?
I used to be a lot, kind of just as the kids started coming along, you just run out of time. But I actually just picked up reading. The Cutman Tate?
Yeah.
Huge reader. Like really, really into like.
Yeah, that's why he wants my book.
Yeah, I don't want to call them. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I don't want to say they're like self-help books, but they're like kind of self-improvement, like just different ways to think. So he got me this one by Tim S. Grover. It's called Relentless: From Good to Great to Unstoppable.
I've heard of that. Is it good?
So far, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. From good to great to unstoppable.
Yeah.
Back to shit again.
Back to shit again.
Everything goes in a circle.
It's that Patty Plymouth.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. I'm always like, right, I got to read more. But then I never know what to read. I'm currently reading Fahrenheit 451. If you're aware of that, it's a book where this guy's a fireman, and it's set in the future, and all books are banned because it's all control on the population and things like that. And this guy's a bit of a rebel. Go on, Bri.
Oh, Mike, I have a list of dystopian nightmare novels to send you after this.
I'm sure you do, you fucking weirdo. But I'm reading that.
Easy Thor.
It's easy Thor. Take it easy. Yeah, it's all right. It's good. It's good. I'm enjoying it, actually. Yeah, but I don't really find much time to read. But with it on the phone, on the Kindle, on my phone, that makes it easy. If I'm sat on a plane, if I'm on the toilet, if I get 20 minutes or whatever. At the moment, this sounds like such a douchebag sentence to say. When I'm in the makeup chair, getting my makeup done in the morning, I'll do it then. Do you know what I mean? Just sit there reading the book on the Kindle like a highfalutin, successful guy. Whereas normally it would be Twitter or Instagram or do my emails or whatnot. So yeah, shout out Kindle on the phone. That's it. That's the show, guys. Apologies for the inconsistency lately. I know a lot of people have been annoyed. I had some insulting people on Twitter. It's hard. A couple of weeks, I'm home. It's done. It's over.
I was going to ask you, are you getting close?
3 weeks. I said a couple. I meant a few.
Yeah.
3 weeks. 3 more weeks. I can't wait to get home. I really can't. I'm out of loop with everything. I haven't seen my kids, obviously. Lucas is growing up and his voice getting deeper every time I speak to him. Rebecca's probably having an affair with the guy down at the stables. I have no idea what's going on at home. Cockroaches all over the place.
Cockroaches. You got no robots.
No robots.
If you need me to fly out and sneak around in the bushes and stuff and follow her for a day, you let me know.
No,
that's not the creepiest
I thought you was if you need me to fly out and take care of Rebecca for a bit while you're not around, don't worry. Listen, we're all buddies here. I'll do it. But yeah, go follow that bitch. Anyway, that's it, guys. Appreciate it. We'll be back next week. As I say, sorry about Monday's show. All Anthony Smith's fault.
It is. My bad.